welcome back to the Kilted Kickoff. Well, if you're wondering where we've been, we had a wedding, we had a honeymoon, we got a new job, Glasgow are flying high, Edinburgh missed a fight, and the Scotland squad's been announced. So we're all going to discuss it now. And joining me as always is my lovely co-host slash groomsman, Dan. How you getting on, my guy?
Yeah, good, good. I think for the pair of us, a lot's happened in the since we've last been on. So this is the first episode of season two.
Yeah, season 2 already. Mental,
Yeah,
though.
this is season two, episode one of season two. A lot going on as we laid out at the pod. So apologies to a lot of our listeners. We did hope to be on a bit sooner than this, but life just got in the way. But look, we're here now, and we've got a lot of things to cover. Where
Yes,
would
we
you like to
do.
start this week?
You know what? We always do it in chronological order. Friday Night Lights, Fortress of Scotstoun, Glasgow Warriors beating the Bulls. Where have I heard that story before?
Yeah, the game of the weekend, that's how it was built up to be. You know, a repeat of the final a couple of years ago. Not many teams do go to Scotstoun and win. The Bulls just so happened to be one of them.
Mm.
Um, and it was a good game, a strong performance. It
Yeah,
was my
yeah, I
brother's
agree.
birthday, so I was pretty heavy on that day.
Fair, fair enough. Good effort though. Hope your brother had a good one. Um, yeah, it was a good game, but there was a moment in the game
Mm.
and the Bulls scored, and I'm like, that's it. There's no coming back from that. And they TMO'd
Mm.
it, and there was a knock on in the build up. I'm like, whoa, Glasgow might
Oh
have
yeah,
got one
yeah, I
there.
remember.
And then they then took over again with the momentum and sealed the win. But at the time, I was like, oh, and you know what? We need to say it. Welcome back, Jack Dempsey. What a
Yeah,
shift.
yes. What a way to mark his return! Like I wasn't expecting to play the full 80, and I wasn't expecting to hit the ground running the way that he was. And I'm going to be honest, going into this one, my narrative in my head was Dempsey's off it. He's hardly played a game since last autumn. I think he featured in one or two of the Six Nations games. Other than that, since we played the Springboks last autumn, he's hardly touched a ball. I was not expecting him to come back with vengeance. I thought, okay, Magnus Bardbury is going to be the incumbent. Dempsey's probably lost his place now, but no, he's sort of come back and sort of just reminded everyone, like, no, if you want my jersey, come and take it, because he wasn't giving that one up lightly.
You know what? I rate it. I love when players put in a shift and be like, come and get it.
Yeah, do you know what? I love to be proven wrong. There's a lot of
Oh yeah.
times where I'll come out with an opinion, be like, do you know what? So and so's past it. He's past his best, and maybe I'm sometimes a little bit too quick in calling on change. And I'll put my hand up, and I was like, Dempsey's past it. And if he does come back with his age profile, he's not going to be anywhere near where he was when he left down. And no, I mean, it'll yet to be seen if he can carry on that form. It's only been one game, but
Yeah.
he's definitely set down a marker.
Just a
Um,
quick fun question there. What's the biggest blunder you've done, like by jumping the gun?
what's the biggest blunder I've done?
Like when you've said like Jack Dempsey's past it. Is that it? Or is there other ones that you've come out with like, oh, that's aged like milk?
I didn't rate Ali Price when he first came onto the scene. I remember it was him and Laidlaw.
Okay.
Uh, I just didn't think that Price was up to the quality. But that might have been of how much I love Greg at the time.
Fair.
So yeah, that's probably my big one. I referred to Voldemort as the best 15 in the world at one point.
We've all done that. Don't worry about
Um, Yeah, I mean, you put me on the spot, but straight away, Price is probably my biggest blunder.
it. Fair enough.
I didn't think he was going to do it, but you proved me wrong.
There you go.
Now, talking of ones that are going to go the other way and talk someone up, I hope really doesn't um, prove me wrong. Tell you who I was really impressed with during that Glasgow game. I think we
Tell me.
spoke about it when you were over at mine the other day. Gregor Brown. How
Yes.
good is Gregor Brown at the moment?
He's unreal. And you know what? He got a lot of slag in from the other nations when he got called
Mhm.
up to the Lions because it was undeserved and all this. And you know what? I don't know if it's just because of the opportunity that he got, or maybe the 1-to-1 with Andy Farrell in that short period. But whatever's
Yep.
been said, since he came back to Glasgow, unreal. He's had a player of the match. His offloading game is really improved. He's a big ball and brute. He's a heavy hitter. He's
Hmm.
versatile because he can do second row and the back row, which definitely comes in handy. Yeah, playing out of his skin right now is Gregor Brown, and I'm all for it. I absolutely love it.
Tui Pelotu, getting back to form at the same time. I think the effort that he puts in and the work rate he's put in is great. Him getting an early try, that's sort of what you want to see. And there's been a couple of Scots over the last week I feel like are peaking at just about the right time for Scotland.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. It's what you want. I agree with that, and it just makes things a bit more interesting, doesn't it, going forward? Which we'll
oh
dive
yeah,
into. We'll dive into in a bit more depth shortly. But yeah,
Hasting
God,
quietly went
yeah.
around his business. I thought had a good game. Actually, I think who else stood out? Johnny Matthews had a good game. Nathan Macbeth had a good game as well, getting a
Nathan McBeth
try.
had a good game off the bench. Yeah, very
Yeah.
impactful off the bench. Speaking on Adam Hastings, 500 points as a Warrior. Hell of an effort.
Way.
Good effort that. Um,
I
yeah,
didn't Mrs. come to Scotstoun with like a cake. And I saw a thing of him, Ryan Wilson, and Barkley all trying to
just
shove
try
it
and bite
into
him.
a
Yeah,
cake.
got to
Yeah.
love it. Got to love it though. Ah,
So look, we know that the reason that most of you have tuned into today is you want to hear our opinions on the Scotland squad. So let's quickly move on through this. Glasgow were great. Before
Glasgow
we
were
get
great.
onto the Scotland squad, let's move on to not so
No,
great.
can you tell we've just
So
sunk straight back in? I don't
yeah.
want to do it.
So for those of you that don't know, um, me and Murray, we always go to the home games together, and for the away games, Murray comes round to mine. And I was hungover on the day, so I was already pretty deflated. And I thought the mood couldn't get much lower, but it did. It did.
Oh, yeah,
Um, Edinburgh, first half, they looked the dominant team, and it just looked like Cardiff had one or two breaks. And then the second half, it was slipping. And I think I said to you around the 50th minute, didn't I, that
yeah.
Edinburgh were going to lose that game. I was like, you can see it coming. It's just inevitable. They do it all the time, and you can see they're just slowly conceding control. And I've not brought myself to watch it back yet because I
No,
did end up recording the game. But to my memory, I cannot remember a single phase of attack we had in their 22 the
nope,
entire second half.
nope.
Not one.
I mean, the the bit that writes at home was we got a penalty 2 minutes left on the clock.
Mm,
Kick for the corner, fine, throw in, and all we have to do is keep it going to either build a penalty or drop goal it. We don't even need to get the try. That's how close this game was, and
yeah.
we overshot the line out. Some
Yeah.
great boys,
And then
awesome.
when we got the ball, we tried to pass it and they knocked it on. Then they got the ball and kicked it back and we dropped it. It was just compound, unforced errors. And look, I know the weather was atrocious in Cardiff. Um,
But
but
still,
and this is where I come with Edinburgh, right? Because there's a lot of people, yeah, no sack Everett, which maybe they should do. But the
no,
thing
not
is, I
there's
still
no
think
maybe.
we were crap before Everett. Um,
Disagree with that. I wouldn't say we were crap with Everett before Everett. It's more there was cracks, and he's just came in with a sledgehammer and went, "Here's all the crap at once." And
let me
it's
put
and
this
it's the
to you.
stuff. Wait a minute, it's the stuff that he comes out with. So, like I said to you earlier, that well, the players are accountable for the defeat. No, you are.
Yeah.
Where's the tactics, you muppet? How many times did we see Edinburgh in the second half? Just do I pass it? Do I run it? Do I kick
Yeah,
it? What do we do?
there was a noticeable thing of panic with Edinburgh when they had the ball. You could see the scrum half was frantically looking from left to right. The lines behind him didn't know how to line up. No one was running any attacking lines. It was just like there was no plan for what the players do, so they would frantically pass it once or twice, and then they would immediately boot it down the field. And Cardiff, with a plan, just sort of saw Edinburgh's shape, came at us, and would just continuously pin us back. And it was like Edinburgh didn't have a way out. And I just feel like some of our big name players didn't turn up. Now,
No,
this
that's
is
fair.
something I've been sat on for a while, right?
Go on
And
then.
I'm going to put it to you.
Oh.
Are Edinburgh just not as good as we think they are? Because
Um,
we get angry with them because I've said before, I think on paper they're a top four side. You said you think they're a top six side. Maybe where they've been consistently
but I said
through
you
the
can
last
watch it
couple of
as well.
seasons is just where they are, and we're just consistently overrating where we think they should be.
I don't think we're overrating it because, like, just look at the names. And you know how I know it can't be that bad? And this is just how my mind works. So if anyone disagrees, then feel free. There can't be, if we're that bad, there can't be that many Edinburgh players in the national team.
I don't think there should be.
That's a different debate, to be fair. But I'm just, like just looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
There can't be that many Edinburgh players getting picked to potentially take on the All Blacks and make history when your team's that bad. And you know how I know this? And it's a different format altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But how many Dragons players do you see in Wales? Pretty much zero, apart from Aaron Wainwright. One great player.
You mean how many Wales players play for the Dragons?
Either way.
Yeah. Okay.
How many Zebra players were in the Italian squad? Not very many.
Did they still beat us?
I'm not on about that. That's down to tactics then. This is what I'm on about. It's not it's not that we have bad players. We don't have bad players. We have very good players. Some you could even argue world class.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I don't think, and again, it's going to sound like I'm bashing Everett, and I probably am because he's drove me to this state of affair for long enough. It's just like we joked about it at halftime. He's probably went in there and said, "Same again, boys." And it would not surprise me if he's done that because he just looks like he doesn't care. The attitude, the blade, like any good coach will be like, "Oh, the tactics weren't quite there today, or the selection was off." None of that. It's the players have to take accountability. So do you. You're the coach.
it's. I think the more frustrating thing is you know what's happening with Edinburgh, and we'll get like that result, a great result, the 43-0 at home against Benetton, right? But they never back it up. They just don't back it up. It seems for Edinburgh to have a good performance, they have to have their full squad,
Yep.
full strength team playing at home with no injuries, and they turn up.
But
Like,
this is where I also stick with the issue of it's a coaching problem. We have talented youngsters at Edinburgh that
mm,
are hyped up to the max, and they either don't play or they look lost. Now, and I don't like doing this, but I know you do it quite a lot, so it's going to work.
mm,
Let's just say Franco Smith was the Edinburgh head coach.
yep.
Freddie Douglas would be starting, for one. Connor McAlpine will be getting more game time and not as a last minute change. Jack Brown would be a regular face in the matchday 23. The Blythe
Wes
Lafferty
Houston would have
brothers.
played almost every game last season without a day off if Franco was
Yeah,
in charge. He
yeah,
Franco's got a thing where he will rotate his key players and give his key players.
exactly.
Unless we're playing Leinster at home or a big European game, when do you ever see Glasgow going full noise for a standard league game? Like
Hardly
they
ever.
always have big players play almost every game,
Yeah,
but
which is
you
fine.
don't
You
have
could
your
mix it.
full. So you should do it.
Exactly. But yeah, Sean Everett just won't. And the whole thing, the one that I use as reference is when we played Gloucester last season in the
Mm-hmm.
Challenge Cup. and we didn't get to use any of our big boys because we had to get that win against Benetton, and it was coming up to
Yeah.
the internationals. It was coming up to the Six Nations because it was after Christmas,
Hmm.
and they weren't allowed to play because they were on rest protocol. And he's like, "Oh, it's a good chance for us to show the youth that we've got." You're saying that like you've done that through choice. None of that's through choice. Whereas if
Mm.
Franco Smith said it, I'd actually believe it.
Yeah.
Just
It's
get out my club. I hate him. I don't think I've ever hated a coach as much as I hate Sean Everett since Andy Robinson, probably.
see, I didn't dislike him as much, Andy Robertson. Um, yeah, you do
You just
you do have strong opinions on Everett. See, I'm not sold that the players are all that. I think that in my head, I'm probably overrating these Edinburgh players.
you might be.
Um,
That might be your thing though. I don't think I feel like I'm not. But again, everyone's different with it. I
I'd
just
have
can't
to see the
I
stats on how many international players Edinburgh's got compared to the rest. Like when I look at forget about coaches or tactics. If I just to put the skill of the players against each team, for me, Edinburgh are in the top four. In my head, their top four, they could finish fifth or sixth in a bad season.
yeah.
Um,
There's
uh,
13
uh,
Edinburgh players, by the way, in the Scotland team.
in the Scotland team, yeah. Now, how many other teams in the URC have 13 internationals?
Well, Glasgow's got
Well,
19, so there's one.
okay, so Glasgow, Leinster, the Sharks, arguably probably have more than you at Edinburgh.
Yeah,
To be
probably give
fair,
or take. Yeah, give or take, yeah.
yeah, maybe Benetton might be close up there, but
Yeah. But yeah, four teams, if that, have more
yeah.
international. That's actually because you've mentioned it, and again, it's back to the Sean Everett thing. He was
Hmm.
head coach of the Sharks. They have multi World Cup winners, some of the greatest players that have ever played this generation on his team, and he did absolutely dick with them. And he comes over here, and guess what? He's done absolutely bugger all with us as well.
I mean, in his defence, the Sharks are still doing nothing now.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to think that might be a player issue.
So
And
there's,
Rassi might just slap it into them when it comes to Springbok duty.
I can't remember if we've spoken about this on the pod or if this was a conversation I had with you off air. Like I joked to get the mentality right that you should do a like for like transfer with some of the Glasgow players, you know,
Mhm.
like a swap of Magnus Bradford for Jack Dempsey,
Oh,
or Duhan for Stain, um, you know, Macbeth for Bowen Venter, like just to
yeah.
try because there's clearly it's rather there's only two things, right? The players aren't nearly as good as we think they are, or there's some horrible mentality issue at Edinburgh. It's one of the two because multiple coaches have tried to fix it and they can't. Now, if the coach can't fix it, ultimately he's not the right man for the job. So you keep changing the coach, in my opinion, until he's done it. You give a coach 2 seasons, a season to bed in, and then a season to get stuff. If you can't turn it around in 2 seasons, you move on and you try someone else until someone does crack it. Um,
So what I'm hearing is, see you later, Everett. Bye bye.
well, I
Yes.
thought they should have done it at the end of last season, right? But they didn't because he made it to the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup and he got them to the playoffs. So is the terrible start Edinburgh had to last season, they did turn it around at the end, but it's almost like they need to go away to the international camp to shake off some bad habits because it always seems to happen when the Edinburgh players come back from international duty. So there's
But
something in
that
the
must be
culture of
so.
Edinburgh that
There has to
causes
be.
it. They go away to Gregor Townsend's camp
Yeah,
and then they come back like different players. I'm not sure if it's because they spent time with the Glasgow boys and it's rubbed off on them.
maybe. But
That
do you imagine how frustrating that would be for just for Gregor Townsend? So like this week, tomorrow morning, first training session as a group, and all the Edinburgh boys are like just making mistakes. You think Gregor's just sitting there like, I need to fix it again.
The bit that annoys me, right, more about Edinburgh, and this is something that I don't think gets talked about enough. The behind the scenes facilities that Edinburgh have are better than anyone else because they get to use the Scotland facilities, international level facilities. They get to use the Scotland coaches, the analysts, the physios, the training facilities. Do you think Connacht are, training at the Aviva every week and using their facilities? Connacht's maybe a bad example, but
I was
Munster,
going to say I don't think
yeah,
Munster or Ulster's getting a touch at Dublin, but
no.
I get
But
I get what you mean though.
the facilities and the resources that Edinburgh have at their disposal would make other teams blush.
And
So
again, the last point on this, a lot of people, and this is where I put Dan in the same group as me. We are not fans. We're not rugby fans. Because fans to me, you're there when it's really good, but the minute it goes bad, you're not interested.
you're there at
Supporters,
Benetton in front of a half empty stadium.
exactly. But we're there when we're getting battered, when we're smashing teams, when we're scraping wins, when we get an unlucky loss. And for Scotland, that's what
Yeah.
supporters are. You're there for the good, the bad, and everything in between. And that's why
You
I
buy
always
the.
say
Mhm.
the day like Scotland win the Six Nations
Yep.
is going to be one of the best moments of my life because I've been there when Italy beat us. I was there when Murrayfield wouldn't sell out. I was there
Mm.
when Phil Godman was our 10. You know,
Dan Parks.
I like Dan Parks. He's more of a streets don't forget player.
He is. Yes, but look, we buy the jerseys every season. I know I start my new job on Monday, right?
Yeah.
But before that, in my last job, how many days did I have to book a day off work to go down to the Hive just to watch
Exactly.
us get absolutely stuffed, um, or swap shift with people, or use my own holiday time or whatever. So yeah, there is and also look, I don't want to say anyone has a right to anything, but we spend a lot of our own free time, helping to do our best to promote Scottish rugby on this podcast and on our own individual pages. So I feel like we've got a wee bit of a right to moan a wee bit when things aren't going. Because we
Not
heap
even
all the
just
praises when things are going well.
yeah.
So
No, exactly. But as again, I'm not out here bashing players. Yeah, yes, some players need to improve, but I'm not out here going like, he was crap, he's useless, da da da. I'm just pointing the blame at the coach. I can out him all I want. Because guess what? See the end of November when we take on the Ospreys. I'll be at Hive Stadium. See when Tyrone come to town. I'll be at Hive Stadium. See the end of the year when Zebra come. I'll be there.
anyway, on that bombshell and that cheery note, should we move on to the main event? We're back in the big house on Saturday
We are against
to
the good
see.
old US of A, buddy.
So I said this just before you left. I want to do a bingo card for the USA game. And the first thing I said I put on the bingo card is a kilt with stars and stripes on it. And I just wanted our listeners to send in what do you think is the most likely thing that we're going to see at the Scotland USA game? I said an American with stars and stripes kilt, but I'd like to know what you think.
Somebody's maybe not grab us, but someday we're going to overhear someday say that their great, 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 great grandpappy is from Glasgow. No,
Glasgow.
or Edinburgh. If I hear it, I'm going to scream.
I'm from Edinburgh. I'm waiting to see a Make Scotland Great Again cap at some point.
Make Scotland great again. Lovely golf courses, tremendous stadiums, beautiful dogs, beautiful
Just
pints, beautiful jerseys. Ben Russell, quality player.
so yeah, you, let us know what you think's coming because we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly fire through the Scotland squad here. Just for those of you that have been living under a rock or maybe haven't had a time to read the squad yet. So, for our forwards, we've got Ewan Ashman, Josh Bayliss, Magnus Bradbury, Gregor Brown, Scott Cummins, Rory Darge, Jack Dempsey, Matt Fagerson, Xander Fagerson, Grant Gilchrist, Patrick Harrison, Nathan Macbeth, Alexander Masabaka, Liam McConnell, Elliot Miller Mills, Harry Morris, Andy Onyama Christie, Darcy Ray, Dylan Richardson, Jamie Ritchie, Alex Samuel, Peter Schumann, Rory Sutherland, Marshall Sykes, George Turner, Murphy Walker, and Max Williamson. Now, just before we get into the backs, what do you think of the forwards?
Overall, quite happy. I am actually really chuffed for Liam McConnell. Last summer, Scotland
Yes.
under 20 captain, he's came straight in and he's starting for Edinburgh. So that's one
Mhm.
thing I will give Sean Everett, that whatever Liam McConnell is doing, let him do it. Let him cook. So it's glad to see him in the squad. Xander
One of the only
Masabaka,
positives from Cardiff, by the way.
he's one of the only positives from Cardiff. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, Harry Morris was a bit of a surprise. I don't hate it. I like the idea, but he's not played. Because this is, again, it's nothing against Harry Morris directly, because the same rule applies to Elliot Miller Mills, or he's not in this squad actually for a change. Will Hurd. They're all good
Yeah.
players, but they don't play.
They don't play. Now, this is where, and we've had this conversation on the phone, and a load of our listeners are going to be asking it. So let's get it out of the way now. No Johnny Matthews.
No,
Shut
Johnny
up.
Matthews,
Um,
Jonathan Matthews. What about them?
there is Gregor Townsend's named 5 hookers in the squad. 5. Johnny Matthews is not one of them. Now, I
Do
can
you
hear
wait?
the
Are
arguments
you?
of
Are you?
Johnny Matthews. One sec. I can hear the arguments of Johnny Matthews not being the best hooker in Scotland. That, oh, I would start Ashman or Richardson on that. I won't hear that there's 5 hookers in Scotland all better than Johnny Matthews.
I
That
mean,
I
Robbie Smith
won't
plays in
hear.
Northampton, so
Sorry, I didn't hear you there.
I'm saying. I mean, Robbie Smith plays in Northampton, so technically he's out with Scotland, but
And now, look, I might turn into a bit of hypocrite here because I have said, especially when I talk about like Crowley and Prendergast, that when you want to try untested names, autumn's the time to do it. But do you think it's something personal, first of all? Do you think maybe Townsend doesn't like him? Or maybe do you think that Johnny Matthews just doesn't want to play for Scotland? Do you think it could be something as simple as that?
maybe that. I, I'm glad you've actually said that. That the second part, not the personal gripe, because I think people, not you directly, just the general sentence is, oh, Townsend's not picked a player, he must not like him. No, there is other reasons why coaches don't pick players. I always
Because, look, mhm.
I always do for the cliche, especially online, because I can't be bothered arguing with everyone. I go for the cliche of, well, you can't pick everyone. And that is true. You cannot just go, here's every hooker for Scotland. Bring them all in. And let's do a knockout, like a round robin of who the best hooker is.
See,
But I feel, and again, this is because, like I've explained to you, I used to want Johnny Matthews in the squad. I used to get real, not frustrated, but I used to be a bit miffed why he was omitted. But when you hear multiple times reasons why he's not getting picked, it's like a glass shatter moment. Everyone has
I
them everyone has them on different players, and it's fine. Everyone's different. If we all agreed, life gets boring real fast. I think either Johnny Matthews either not doing enough of what the coaches are wanting him to do, or oh, no, he's not doing what the coaches want to do, and he's like sticking to what Franco wants him to do, which is fine. If one
see.
coach is, because I've always found that.
If it was a skill issue, I don't think he starts for Glasgow as regularly as he does. If it was a skill issue,
So,
when
wait a
Matthews,
minute.
I don't
You
think it's a skill issue,
you ready for a hot take here?
right?
And I could only say it in a way that sounds like I'm being a twat, and I don't mean to sound like it. It's the only way I can word it.
I believe you're a
Right.
twat, so it's fine.
Thanks. Love you too, man. If I was to throw the ball up to Scott Cummings,
Yep.
right? I'm pretty sure if I've got Cummings,
Oh, I
Williamson,
know what you're going to say.
Sutherland, Matt Fagerson, Xander Fagerson, and Sione Vailanu or Rory Darge in front of me, I think I could get the ball over the line. It's the
I
power
think
of
you're
them
full of,
all
I think you're
that
full of
make
shit.
no. It's the power of them all. Yes, Johnny Matthews scores a lot of tries from the end of them all because he starts more regularly. But Gregor Hiddleston does it, Grant Stewart does it, and I'm sure Seb Stephen can do it as well.
Not to the same rate. Not if you look.
Because he
If you
does
look at his
because the
tries,
others no, because they don't get as much game time. If Gregor Hiddleston started the exact same amount of time as Johnny Matthews, the try would still be scored from them all.
his tries per minute is so much higher.
Because he plays more.
That's not what per minute means. His tries per
Yeah, but
minute.
so wait a minute. People will be like, "Oh, but he scored five in one game." Yeah, all of them all. Every single one of those was off them all.
The amount of line breaks he makes, he does score a lot of tries from distance, are not all off the maul. Right now, the
I never
only
said they're
two
all off
things
them all.
I can think that personally, right, the reason he's not picked, right, is rather that he doesn't want to play for Scotland. But I feel like all the pressure that's on Townsend, if he didn't want to play for Scotland, Townsend would have come out already and said, "Look, I gave Johnny a place and he's turned it down." Um, or it could be, and I wish they would just clarify if it was this. Look, I like Johnny Matthews, but he just doesn't fit the system that I play.
I mean, there is probably that option as well. He just might not
But
fit the system.
yeah, the fact that like, okay, so for our back row forwards, we have loads of depth, right? And if Scotland were stacked for hookers, I could buy it. I really could. Like if we had hookers coming out our years the way we have back row forwards coming out, I could sort of get behind it. But the fact we've gone for five, one of them's hardly played any game time, yet even though I am excited to see him, I just I wish they'd just come out with a reason.
Probably
But
not.
going on, so moving on then. Um let's start your let's start our actually no, I'll do start 15 for the All Blacks later. Um
Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, cowboy.
who accompanies right now, who accompanies Grant Gilchrist for the second rows for you? I'm going Gregor
I,
Brown.
I don't have Grant and Gilchrist starting. What are you on about?
Sorry, not Grant Gilchrist. Scott Cummins. I meant to
Gregor
say
Brown.
Cummins. Yeah,
I knew what you meant, but
yeah. And we were
I'll actually add to the skid. I don't
mm,
have Gilchrist in the match day 23 against the All Blacks.
no, neither do I. I've got Williamson on the bench.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and that goes to what we were saying about in Edinburgh's form. It's hard to justify picking a lot of Edinburgh players right now.
The only Edinburgh players I actually see getting into a match day 23, not against the USA, because let's be honest, it don't count.
It's a
Let's be,
glorified A fixture, really.
yeah, let's be real. It's a cap. That's it.
Yeah,
So the only ones I really see in the match day 23 is Ewan Ashman,
yeah.
Dylan Richardson,
In the 23, okay, I could see
23.
him in the
I don't
23.
know
I'm
if
not
he'll
sure if he
start.
starts,
Yeah.
but
Pierre Schumann,
yeah.
Duhan and Darcy. That's it.
I'm not sure if both of them start, but okay, that's just me. We'll get onto that later, though.
No, but if you're asking me who, I said in 23.
Yeah,
So bench
okay.
as well. There's five Edinburgh players I said there.
While we're on the forwards, right? Against
Mm-hmm.
the All Blacks, do you
Yep.
think he goes JB Ritchie and Dard, or do you think I'm going to finally have my dreams come true and get my big bastard back row, my BBB?
You're gonna have to go big. You have to go a bit bulky. I don't know how you do it because I think we rattled it off on the phone the other day. There is a number of options, and we were all kind of like, we were both like, oh yeah, that works. Oh, but that works as well. There was
I just
like,
look at because we've got Bradbury, Darge, Dempsey, Fagerson, Masabaka, um, Andy Christie. Dylan Richardson,
Josh Bayless. Yeah.
Josh Bayless. You could put Gregor Brown as a back row forward as
Yeah, that's
well.
what I'm saying. There's so many options.
I mean, we
Or
could, we could, and let me put it to you: Maggie at 6, Matt
uh,
Fagerson at 7, Dempsey at 8.
minor tweak, minor. Have Ferguson on the bench because he covers a bit more of
Yeah.
all of them. Andy Onyema Christie.
I should. I had him in my first one. I take that back. Yeah, Andy Christie starts. I think he's probably the best of a lot of them. Christie starts. Yeah.
I think
See,
that's a good way to
there's
do
so many good players there that initially, just before opening my mouth, I had him starting at 6, and then I saw someone else's name. I was like, oh, do it that way.
it. But you know what? That's the joy. I love the selection of the back row. Genuinely, I have no faults in it.
Right.
I
If
I
look,
I, I feel bit. I mean, you've still got Liam McConnell, who we mentioned earlier. I imagine he's going to play against the USA.
hmm
You'll have. I mean, you could go Liam McConnell with. I know it's outside the international window, so you're probably looking at like McConnell, Darge, maybe give Dempsey a tune up.
yeah. See, I'll have one problem with the back row, right? And I've said this during the last Six Nations, and it's if you play Darge and Ritchie together. Now, we've said we're Scotland for a while. Scotland's forward pack gets out muscled, right? They're both on the lighter side when it comes to flankers, and they're both very versatile. Now, that does give you advantages in other area. It makes you a bit quick. It makes you a wee bit lightweight. I like them both individually as players, but if you're going to play one, you can't play the other. In
Okay.
my mind, yeah, I just think it makes the forward pack a wee bit light if you play both together. So you play Richie and Richie or Darge. Don't play both.
How meaty do you want to get? I'm not just on about the back row. I'm on about just the forward pack because I'm having just for fun here. Let's just say we do this against the USA, just for shits
Well,
and
okay,
giggles.
yeah,
Purely for if it works and if it's hefty, you could do it against the All Blacks or Argentina. I'm just spitballing here. It's just for a bit of fun. So
okay. So if I was to go as big as I possibly could, I go Schumann,
yeah, Dylan Richardson probably.
Richardson, yeah, at number 2, Fagerson at
Xander.
number 3. I go Cummings and Max Williamson.
No, heftier. You have to drop Cummings. You have to go Sykes and Williamson. You need hefty,
Like,
hefty.
is
I'm not about
Sykes
height.
bigger than Cummings?
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
he?
Yes. What are you talking about? I forgot to put his first name there. Hold on. Yeah, for pure I was about to say girth. That's the wrong description. For for pure beefiness, yeah, I would say that Marshall Sykes and Max Williamson, 121 kegs is Marshall Sykes. Big boy. Max Williamson, not Verstappen. Yeah, I'm thinking
The
just
2 centimeters in it.
I'm not on about height, I'm on about weight.
As I say, see, I'm trying to bring up their thing here, see if it shows it.
I've got Marshall Sykes weight.
What's
Okay,
Marshall Sykes weight?
121 kilos. Max Williamson's 118. So, if Scott Cummins is heavier than that, yes,
Sorry, how
Scott
much is he again? 108, did you say?
108, 118. Yeah, no, Scott Cummings is 115 kilos. So if you're going on pure,
116 I've got here. Yeah, there's not two kilos in it.
there's
If
not
that's
much in it.
accurate.
I'm
Yeah.
just going off what the same information you've got. But if you're doing it on pure just weight, you have it's Shuey, Richardson, Xander, Sykes, Williamson, Magnus, uh, Matt Fagerson probably, and then
Ben Muncaster if he was fit.
if he was fit, yeah, but he's not, so he ain't.
Masabaka, maybe?
Probably, yeah, he's a chunky boy.
I really like Masabaka. He's my type
So,
of
so,
player. Like,
so
I
there you
know he
go.
lost the only game he played, but I was really impressed with him in that Fiji game.
He didn't play against Fiji. He's uncapped. He's not being capped. He played against the
Oh,
Maori.
yeah,
Played
yeah,
against
yeah.
the Maori.
Sorry.
That was it. But
Yeah.
I got you. I knew what you meant. Um, yeah. So if you're just going purely off like weight, if you're wanting to try and get way past the 900 scale,
Mm.
that's the pack to use.
Okay.
Just again, just for fun. I'm not saying we have to use that.
So I'm trying to look at a player comparer on Rugby Pass, but it'll probably take me far too long to figure out how to work it
Fair enough.
just to see it. But yeah,
We've got
that is a way you could do it.
we've got an issue in the backline though.
Was that?
It's going to sound weird when I say it, but I will explain. So you'll understand. Who starts at scrum half? Because everyone will probably just hear that bit and be like Ben White. I'm like, yeah, fine.
Nah, I disagree.
I feel you just disagree just for clicks.
I disagree because you have shit opinions, mate. That's why I disagree.
I didn't get my full opinion out, asshole. But
I gone. I take it back.
mm, no, so like Ben White, yes, makes sense because he is the starter for Scotland. He is a British and
Yeah.
Irish Lion. But again, like I've said, with Harry Morris and Elliot Miller Mills and that, they don't
Yeah.
play. Ben White has played like maybe one full game this season in the top 14. The boy does not get any minutes
No.
because Baptiste Seren, I know he's a good scrum half, but give Ben White the chance, let him cook. He's still a young lad, a younger lad anyway, than Baptiste Seren.
Yeah. It's just
Like
actually.
coming, like if we're all on about like players coming into form,
Mm,
I don't know. I don't know if Ben White's in form. Can't tell. Doesn't play. Jamie Dobie, on the other hand,
on fire.
is absolutely cooking.
Exactly. Um, hold on. I'm just bringing up because we're in Toulouse playing Toulon in the top 14 as we speak.
Ben White versus
Um,
Kinghorn. Woo!
yeah, I'm just trying to see. So yeah, okay, it's just finished by the looks of it about 5 minutes ago. Toulouse have won 59-24.
The fence just doesn't exist over there. It really doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
it looks like Kinghorn was kicking.
cool. Oh, that's an option.
Yeah, because he got a couple of kicks. It's not showing up this. Oh, it should be in the lineup. So, um, White didn't. Not only did he not play for Toulon, he wasn't even on the bench.
Oh,
He wasn't on the bench.
please,
Um,
please just come to Edinburgh. He was linked with Edinburgh, but Toulon
yeah,
apparently they really like him and want him to stay. Like, if you really like him, you'd play him.
exactly. Kinghorn slotted 5 kicks though.
Beautiful, lovely. Here's another one, and you're probably think it's going to be a bit more clear cut,
Mm.
and I suppose it is depending on what you're after.
All right,
Who's playing second fiddle to Finn?
Hastings.
Okay,
Um,
I'm
I
not
like.
disagreeing.
See, I had this, and I swing more towards Glasgow than you do.
Oh, I
And
know.
people.
The last conversation just tells us that. Oh, Johnny Matthews, yay!
So go in. Wait till you hear my opinions on Kyle Steyn, mate.
Thank God.
Um, when it comes to the conversation between Tom Jordan or Adam Hastings, we saw it at Glasgow a lot, right? So it depends on the type of 10 you want. If you want a running physical type 10, you go Tom Jordan. But Hastings is the best kicker that Scotland have. So for starters, he'd also, how do I put this? Hastings can also play 12, but he's a 10. Tom Jordan's a 12 that can play 10. Playing Tom Jordan at 10, to me, feels a wee bit like playing Blair Kinghorn at 10. Like, he can do it, but it's not his best position.
Yeah, no, don't do that, because Toulouse did that a couple of weeks ago, and I messaged you like, oh God, it's come back.
The BK head experiment was back, so he can do it, but it's just not his best position.
You forgot a name I was actually going to chuck in there, but it's fine. The conversations went, yeah, only because, again, we're on about form. He is playing really well at Saracens.
Yes, but the Saracens haven't been playing well. That's the only thing.
All right, so we just don't start Andy on the Christie then, on that basis.
It's true they're being a hypocrite.
It's like Jamie Ritchie is doing really well on a, like, profile-wise at Perpignan, but Perpignan are not. So
yeah,
it's a really weird one.
but do you know what? On a Johnny Matthews thing, it's just the pennies just dropped that Dave Cherry also didn't get a call up.
Oh no, 34-year-old Dave Cherry that plays in the second division in France. Yeah, God.
Valid.
Just when you have to put it like that sometimes.
Yeah, look, you've got Fergus Burke. I would look Fergus Burke, Adam Hastings, or Tom Jordan. Look, there's a difference between who the squad that I would pick and the squad that Gregor Townsend's going to pick, and I think will be very, very different. But yeah, I still go Hastings is my second fiddle to Finn Russell. I just think he's got a better distribution game. I think Tom Jordan, Fergus Burke are both a little bit more physical than him. I'll probably run a little bit better, but I think that in a tight game where if we're having to bring them on, we're going to have to rely on kicks. I trust Hastings' boot before I trust Jordan's or Burke's. And I think we're going to have to move the ball all around a lot to try and lock their defence. If we were playing a different team, my mind might change. But for the All Blacks, yeah, go Hastings as number 2.
I'm guessing Adam starts the USA game then. Or does Ross Thompson get the nod? That's actually another issue. Again, it's not a personal thing. How the fuck's Ross Thompson in the Scotland team? How's an Edinburgh 10, shall I say, in the Scotland team?
I don't get it either. I honestly don't.
You could have just picked Dan Lancaster.
Yeah, at least he would have got cap.
He would have been capped. He would have been under our umbrella.
Do you know what? I right now I'd put Lancaster above Thompson.
You see what I mean?
And this is going to sound really bad, like I'm having a dig. I'm not, and I've not been impressed with Lancaster. I've said that with you. When he comes on for Hastings, I feel like there's quite a drop in performance. I mean, again, they're different types of 10s. He's a much more physical 10, but it might just take him a while to gel to Franco Smith's style. But yeah, I'd put him right now, Dan Lancaster, I'd put him above both Healy and Ross Thompson.
And Cammy Scott, I'm guessing?
I'm not sure a bit of Cam. I've been impressed with Cammy, I'm not going to lie. I've been impressed with Cammy. Anyway, look, just because we're approaching the hour mark, let me run through the backs for our listeners, right? So the backs that Gregor Townsend called up for the autumn, it's Fergus Burke, Jamie Doby, Darcy Graham, Adam Hastings, Rory Hutchinson, George Horn, Tom Jordan, Blair Kinghorn, Stafford McDowell, Kyle Rowe, Aaron Reid, Finn Russell, Ollie Smith, Kyle Stain, Ross Thompson, Sione Tuipulotu as the captain, Duhan van de Merwe, and Ben White.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Obviously,
we know Hugh Jones.
Yeah, we know Hugh Jones. Usually, in every Scotland squad, there's a handful of players that I would have picked that haven't been picked. And I like a bit of a moan. I like a moan as much as the next guy. But this is one of the squads in general I've actually been happiest with. I mean, Johnny Matthews is the only one that I've sort of raised an eyebrow at, right? But for whatever reason, Townsend's not picked him. He's never going to pick him.
So wait a minute. Just
But
back
other
on the
than that, I'm
Matthews.
fairly happy.
Just one last thing on the Matthews thing. Had
Right.
had Harry Morris not been called up, and neither is Johnny Matthews. That's not a trade. So then you've only got Ashman, Harry Harrison, Dylan Richardson, and George Turner. Are you okay with that?
The only thing I can think to justify it, right?
That's a no then.
I've said is because I've said there's clearly going to be two squads, right? There's
Yeah,
going to
I
be
feel that.
the squad for the big game and the wrong game. Johnny Matthews might just fall on the outside of a, well, look, he's not going to play the big game, but he's too good and too old to be a development player. So I'm also not going to play him against USA. He could just be in that place where he's the number three. It's like Richardson and Ashman, they're my two main guys. And
Yeah,
Harry Morris and who was the other one we called up?
Harry.
Paddy. And Paddy and Harry, they're uh my developmental guys. So they're going to play the smaller games, and Matthews just doesn't fit in for either of them.
Um. So I'm sure that yeah. So Gregor Townsend explained why there is no Johnny Matthews.
Did he? Because I listened to the thing and I never saw it. What did he say?
I'll try and find it now. So he started with, I think Johnny's playing well this year.
He's had a
I
great
think he
start.
start, I think he started the season in good form. He's been really consistent for Glasgow. We just feel with Harry, we want to give him this opportunity. What we see Harry brings on that physical side, we want to see more of that in training. The squad is likely to change after the USA game. It's a big squad, as you know. We're not going to carry that number right throughout. Once we get past that USA game, everyone is available. Or we'll see where we're at after that. It just feels like a pretty good opportunity for Harry. So it's just to get him capped. Let's get the
Right.
young
Okay.
lad capped.
And the squad's going to change after the USA game because for
By
those of you
change.
that don't know, we refer to it as the 1872 game just
Yeah.
because only players that play for Edinburgh or Glasgow are available for selection for the
Although,
USA game because it's in outside the international window. So that means no Ben White, no Blair Kinghorn, no Finn Russell, no Hutchinson. Um,
I mean, it kind of makes the squad very easy to read. Like, Ollie Smith's probably going to be at fullback.
Okay, well look at the backs, right? And I'll name the backs that just can't play, the ones that miss out. Fergus Burke will be unavailable. Rory
Yeah.
Hutchinson will be unavailable. Tom Jordan will be unavailable. Aaron Reid unavailable.
Ben
Ben
White.
White
Oh,
unavailable.
and Finn Russell, that's it.
Oh yeah, and Finn Russell unavailable. So there's 6 year backs unavailable. So that sort of picks it
Picks
for you.
itself, really. You've got either George Horn or Jamie Dobie starting at 9. You've got Ross Thompson or Adam Hastings starting at 10. You're probably going to have Sione and Staff in the midfield with you're either going to have Kyle Rowe or Duhan van der Merwe or Darcy Graham and Kyle Stein, and Ollie Smith will be at fullback.
Yeah, Ollie Smith will be at fullback, definite. Um, I'm just trying to look. Could we
Although,
see Jamie Dobie on the wing, or do you think he'll start a scrum half?
see, you've actually kind of just fell into my thing. I wasn't going to mention Jamie Dobie, but that does add to it. You could
Mm.
mix up, you could do the old switcheroo, potentially. Actually, no, Dobie can't play on the wing unless he moves out to the wing later on in the game because it's only him and Horn.
Him and Horn.
Yeah, the only two
Yeah.
scrum halves that can play this game. What I was going to say
Okay.
was, Ollie Smith has played in the midfield, and Kyle Rowe has played fullback. So could you do Darcy and Stein with Ollie and just kind of woo?
Yeah. Now, Doohan or Darcy haven't played a lot this season, have they?
Darcy, none of them. I think they both played the same amount of games.
I know neither of them played last week.
No, none of them played last week because what was it? What was the reason?
Bruised ankle for
Bruce
doing
heel. Duhanna had a
bruised
bruised
heel.
heel. Bruised heel, which is apparently a common thing. Darcy had it last year, according to Everett. So take that with a not even a pinch, a big lump of salt. And Darcy picked up a knee knock against Benetton, which we seen, and they didn't want to aggravate it. Right. But he went down on the heap, clutching his leg 4 times, but he didn't take
Yeah,
him off. Make it make
yeah.
sense. Plum.
That's the bit that when me that you could see. I think it was myself, you, and Rated Rugby were all there beside each other, just screaming, "Take him off!" because he kept
Even
going
my
down.
dad
And
was
it was
like, my
just
dad was at the side of me shouting it, and even our oldest, my oldest, who is 5, is like to me, Dad, why is Darcy not going off? Exactly. So even a 5-year-old's poking holes in your logic.
yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see. Forwards, I'm just trying to see who can't play. Bayless is unavailable.
Bayless,
Um,
Musabaka, Elliot Miller Mills, Andy Onayama
yeah,
Christie,
Christie,
Jamie
uh,
Ritchie,
Jimmy
George
Ritchie.
and George Turner. That's it. Everyone else
Yeah.
is available. Hmm.
Uh, so, I mean, do you think Xander Fate? Okay, let's go through our squad for the USA game, right?
Yeah.
Just because we're approaching the hour mark here, and I don't know if we go. Are we going to try get some minutes in the guys that play the All Blacks, or is this a purely a developmental game?
I think it's a purely developmental game.
Okay. On
Well,
that,
starting 15. If you want with 20 minutes to go, if you want to unload Shuey and Magnus and all the crack on,
okay.
but
So
but if you're doing that, you have to haggis bomb it. You have to have all the bench clear out on the one time.
yeah, okay. So who start? So who starts in your front three for you then?
Nathan Macbeth, Paddy
Yeah,
Harrison,
agree.
and Murphy Walker.
Let's go. I'm a really big fan of Murphy Walker,
Mm,
and I hope he's over his injury problems now and stays consistent because it looks
yeah.
like they're trying to get him to be the number two permanently for um, Fagerson. Now I go Harry Morris if we're going to bring him in, and the whole reason you're going to cap him, let's just go for it and start him. So for me, I start Harry Morris and I have
Okay.
Paddy on the bench.
I do have a debut starting, but Harry Morris is on the bench.
Okay. I'll go for the second rows then. Um, I go with Grant Gilchrist and Max Williamson as my starting second rows.
Yeah, I might have went Marshall Sykes over Grant Gilchrist, but nah, Grant Gilchrist for those games makes sense. He's got the yeah, nah, that's
Well,
fine.
yeah, I mean, I might even be tempted to go Sykes, Gilchrist, because
Could do. I mean,
Max
they work.
Williamson off the bench because I'd want to keep him as fresh as I could for the All Blacks.
Uh, yeah, okay. Either
That's
way,
that.
really.
If we're going that we're just keeping our squad as fresh as we
Actually,
can,
you go out. I forgot about Alex Samuel. I like maybe give him a go. He's really good.
yeah, okay, yeah, Alex Samuel maybe. Who's your back row forwards?
William McConnell.
Yeah,
Mm, Matt Fagerson.
I go Dylan Richardson instead.
Okay, I don't hate it. Not against it. Matt Fagerson and Magnus
That's pretty
Bradbury.
bad. Yeah. Or the only other
Doesn't
player
have to
I
be.
could make an excuse for would be Dempsey just to get some minutes in him because he's only had the one game.
Sorry. Pause. Can we just imagine Jack Dempsey like with a tongue out thing, just looking at the Americans like, no, I don't want to play anymore.
Taking my ball and going home.
The, like he's like a rabid dog, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like he is an animal, and I love him. And he's a really chill bloke. That's the bit that really. It's like when you meet like Pacific Islanders, like Sione Vailanu, best example. Big ball
Mm.
and brute will eat you alive on the pitch, and it's, yeah, my bro. He's just so
He
soft
is
spoken. I'm
one of
like,
my favourite players, Vailanu.
such a
I've not
lovely
seen
bloke.
him this season yet. Is he injured?
Yeah, that's why he couldn't come to the wedding.
Oh,
Just there you go.
okay.
There's a bit of a flex there. Yes, Sione Vailanu was invited to my wedding.
Man. Well, okay, let's get to the backs then.
Mm.
Who's your 9-10 combo?
Warren Hastings.
Yeah, only because I want Dobie to start against the All Blacks.
Oh. Again, I don't hate it. I'm not. I'm not. I'm really trying not to think about the All Blacks right now. I want to. I actually want to focus in on the USA.
Okay.
Get get one
Um,
of those big statement victories that everyone talks about, even though this game means absolutely bugger all.
who's your centre combination?
Um,
Do we have to play Sione?
you don't have to. You could do staff with Ollie Smith if you really wanted to.
You'd have to Kyle Rowe at 15 then, wouldn't you? Or you could, I suppose you might be able to play Stain alongside Staff, Stain and Staff.
Yeah, you don't have to play.
Although I'd love Stano to play the All Blacks, but I don't think it'll happen. Um,
You dream about.
I I just think he's a better player, and I'll say I think he's all round. He's a better player. I think he's the best winger Scotland have, but it's just my opinion, I suppose. Who did you go for your back three?
No, I don't even know who fully I said. Who did I say is my midfield there?
You Stafford McDowell and oh shit, Stafford
See,
McDowell.
'cause if we're playing it safe and Sione's captain, so Sione has to play, and you
Mm.
could take him off early if need be. So you can go Sione with and staff
No, you
and
said
have.
you put Ollie Smith in the centre.
I said you could. I didn't say I would.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm saying if you play it safe, you go Sione staff, Kyle squared, and Ollie at fullback.
Yeah, maybe. I see. I don't. Tui Pilotu might be the most important player
No, I agree,
for the
but
All Black. I just don't see him out of the starters. I don't see him being the one that starts. I mean,
see if one more, see if like a James Lang or a Dan Lancaster got called up. You could have just not had him in.
yeah, you could just not
Considering
add him in at all.
considering I've said the fact that after the USA game, the squad's getting like changed.
Mm.
Right, so you could literally go to Dan Lancaster. Really happy that you're with Glasgow. You are eligible for Scotland. In you come, son. Get your cap, and
Tell
then
you who can play centre that could be put on the bench to help cover and it'd help protect Tui Pilotu. You put Hastings in at centre. He doesn't do often, but he can do it.
good. Uh, I don't
It's
know.
you.
The versatility is there. I'm just because Ross Thompson's going to have to be on the bench. That's a given.
Well, I think we see why Ross Thompson's been called up to the squad.
Purely one and done. Yeah. Um,
When's the squad going to come out? Probably Thursday, would it?
Thursday. Yeah. My
Uh,
squad's coming out tomorrow. I don't know whether or not to do that thing I said to you though.
do it.
I don't know how
Listen.
long. I
If
don't
I
know
was
how
as
long.
good with accents, the American accent as you were, I'd do it.
The bit is, the minute I lose it, I can't get it back. That's my issue if I
Um,
do accents. Like the minute it starts to slip away. game's gone.
Game's gone. We could
I
we
think
could do it for a kill to kickoff prediction where you'll do one and then it cuts to me, then I do the other, and you just look good by comparison because I can't do accents at all.
well, what to do is right. I'm not saying this on the podcast, but I've got an idea of how we could do a squad announcement or reaction on the Celtic page. But right, that thing that I'm gonna do, yes, I'll do. I'll just fuck it. Why not? It'll be funny.
So we're going to be cancelled this time next week. So I hope you've enjoyed the podcast.
I'm not going to be cancelled. Who's actually going to complain at what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to film.
Sorry, I had an idea in my head there. People who are listening are just getting a load of silences because they can't see our faces. But
no, I'm gonna do a practice run through it. I might do it to you once we've done recording. Just run it through.
so we are going to have to hurry this up because we're over the hour mark now.
I'm not finishing the squad because there's two, but we've got the rough idea of the squad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have anything more to add to this, really. I mean, the All Blacks is the big one. There's going to be our inevitable.
That's next week's pod. That's next week's episode. If we do it now, we let Drigas go. So we beat the USA, and then that's it. That's the episode.
So let's go into the one thing that I know that you and I disagree on when we play these minnow games, and I'm not sure if it's because I do my my power rankings algorithms. I know, especially for competitive games.
Did you say minnow games or the middle games?
Minnow.
So the USA
yeah.
The bookends.
When it comes to playing the sort of the less important games, sorry to say it.
Oh, what do you mean? I thought you said
there's a benchmark that I would find acceptable us beating the USA by. In anything other than that, I'd actually be quite worried. Like I've not done the stats for it yet, and I will do it when I do my power rankings. I've not actually worked it out yet, but I would imagine I'd want Scotland to win somewhere in the region of 35 points plus playing at home.
Okay.
A score margin of like if we won by like 12 or something, or something like 16 points, I'd be like,
That's just you.
Yeah.
no, I know. I get what you mean.
You're doing the lap of honor. 3-point win, 3-point win.
Not against the USA, I'm not. There's a 3-point win. No, my arse is making buttons at that point as well.
But we've had, like, especially when we did that South American tour this summer. I know you and I's opinions on that were miles apart because I was raging at it, and you were much more relaxed.
Oh, it's just right. I think I know what you're on about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if we put 90 hypothetically on the USA on Saturday, cool. Doesn't get you anything.
When's the last time Scotland put 90 on anyone? I think the confidence alone that would give you would be incredible.
Think you'll find that under 20s did it last year in the summer tournament 3 times? Yes.
Okay. Yes, but did the men's team, did they do it?
Not for a while, no.
No. Well, unless you want to go all the way back to when we played Japan, but then
I was
not
say,
mention the fact that they basically sent their school kids, and that was one of the only reasons we did it.
No, probably sounds like something we would do. Yeah, no. So if we were to beat the USA by like a stupid, like a cricket score, it's fun.
Let's say it's 97-7.
Yeah, cool. I'll love it. I'll have a laugh at the game, but it doesn't do anything. It's basically an open training session then. But and this is what because what do you actually gain from that? If your opposition is that shit that they can't put up a fight.
The big teams, your New Zealands, your South Africa, your Frances, when they play these smaller nations, they're the type of score lines that they run up.
They also gain nothing out of it. It's not a Scottish thing. I say it about Scotland, England, Ireland in the summer when they absolutely obliterated Portugal. I had Irish people going, yeah, but what do we get out of that? Nothing. You get some fresh faces and you make one player look really, really good if they score four or more tries. Cool.
A lot of confidence and a winning mentality. That's
Not
what you get
really.
out of
I
it.
don't think so.
I think so.
I think our best Premiership team, like at grassroots level, could beat the USA.
So you think so you'd rather that Scotland beat the USA by a small amount?
No, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'd rather we beat them and beat them comfortably because it's the USA. They're not a threat. It's a nothing game. We've established that. It's to get the
Hmm.
new boys in to understand the system. And we get a day to get pished. That's all it is. That's really all that is.
All it is. Do you know what? Actually,
But,
I'll give you a number right now. So
but
if
what I
you had to put
mean,
a scoreline on it, what would you rather? I
what do you
mean,
mean?
what's an acceptable score for Scotland to beat the USA by?
Like you said, by 35. If Scotland put 90 on them, again, I'll be
Yeah.
happy because we won. But the players get nothing out of it. They've had a good workout. They've had a good training session. And I don't feel like putting 90 on a team builds you with confidence.
Right. So I've just ran my power rankings on the game for Scotland versus USA, and actually my guess wasn't far off. It's come up by saying Scotland should win this game by about 37 and a half points. Also, there's
Okay,
no half
that's
points, so I
fine.
was rounded up. So 38 points is what my algorithm thinks Scotland should beat the USA by. Um,
See if it's Scotland 42, USA now. Awesome.
well,
Kept up.
that's within the realm of possibility because it pluses four, minuses four at either. So my algorithm's got Scotland winning anywhere between 34 and 42. That's it, that's where it's like that's what the result should be. And I probably agree with that. Anything less than about 34, I'm going to be fairly disappointed. If
See
we
if it's
beat them,
33 and you see if it's 33 and you kick up fuss, I'm gonna slap you.
I'll give a couple of points to buffer. If we beat them by less than 28, I'll be quite upset. Um, if we beat them by more than 42, I'll be buzzing. Absolutely buzzing.
But again, it's not happened often. But even when you watch it on TV, even when the home team, who's loving that their team's winning, after a
Mm.
certain score, that they even kind of stop. It's more just yeah, fucking very good. We're yeah, it's just way, and you just start getting more pissed. What I mean is, when I say you gain nothing from it, I'm not. It's not nothing. It comes across as nothing. I understand that younger players they're getting capped. It's a big moment for them and their family. They're learning a new system. They're testing waters at international level. But I mean,
Mm.
as like a whole group, like beat the USA comfortably. I mean, cricket score here Monday
Right.
morning, and Townsend goes, right, lads. What did we learn from the game? Well, we learned the USA's pish. That's it.
How to execute our set plays beautifully for the big games. Winning
Yeah,
scoreline, how to score tries, how to be ruthless, how to put our throat on the
and
opposition
that's
when we're
what I would
winning,
want.
something that Edinburgh could really use at club level.
That's what I would want as the answers. But from the out, because we're not in the room. We don't know what the players are saying. Monday morning, if it's a cricket score, I'm not even going to remember. It's one of them. Like, oh yeah, we beat the USA. Big whoop. And it does feel like a
Mhm.
nothing game. And when I say that, you gain nothing from it. And when I mean that, and I've said it to you, if you put a cricket score on them, great. You were kind of supposed to.
Last
If you
autumn, when we
win,
thrashed Fiji, I thought that Scotland looked good off the back of that.
that's fine. But right, so what I'm saying is, right, if you're that's just from the general sense, it's not diehards and all that. If you go out and put a cricket score on a team that doesn't really play and aren't very good, yeah, awesome. You're supposed to do that.
Mm.
If you beat them by under 35, let's say, oh, we're not as good as we should be. So there's already doubt going into next week. And if you lose, it's the end of the world. So there's no winning in games like this. That's what I mean.
I see where you're coming from. I just don't agree with you.
I'm stunned.
I'm stunned. Anyway, look, I think we should probably call it there for this week. We've run a good bit over.
Yeah, but
You know, it's
first
funny.
back.
We agree on almost everything when it comes to club, but we're wildly different when it comes to internationals. It's quite funny that. Um,
Not a bad thing.
but yeah, look, Murray and I are both going to be there for the Scotland versus the USA. Are we still doing Kitty O'Shea's before or after the USA game?
Probably before. I don't know what's happening after because our good friend Simeon, it's his birthday. It's been his birthday and he's going out for birthday drinks. And I kind of said that I don't know if you're invited, but I'm sure if I just came with you, they know you.
All right, I can see what I'm not wanted. Anyway, look, we'll chat about it. We'll leave it there for
But
this
yeah,
week.
well, yeah, there we go. And come on, Scotland.
Hey!
Right. See you later.